Progress.
Well, good morning, dear Dharma friends. Here we are. I find myself dissatisfied with the reading I had planned for this morning. Well, can never go wrong with this one. A poem for all moments. Naomi Shihabnai. I had a little communication with Naomi some years, more than a decade ago, in which I asked her permission to use her poems in my teaching. She said she was delighted. So, with permission of the author. I read somewhere she went on her honeymoon in South America and was robbed. What do you call it? Highwaymen. They took everything, killed somebody, and that was the end of her honeymoon. And this poem came from it. It's called Kindness. Before you know what kindness really is, you must lose things. You must feel the future dissolve in a moment like salt in a weakened broth. What you held in your hand, what you counted and carefully saved, all of this must go so you know how desolate the landscape can be between the regions of kindness. How you ride and ride thinking the bus will never stop. The passengers eating maize and chicken will stare out the window forever. Before you learn the tender gravity of kindness, you must travel where the Indian in a white poncho lies dead by the side of the road. You must see how this could be you, how he was someone who journeyed through the night with plans and the simple breath that kept him alive. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to sorrow till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows, and you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore, only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day, to mail letters and purchase bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere, like a shadow or a friend. Before you know kindness as the deepest thing inside, you must know sorrow as the other deepest thing. You must wake up with sorrow. You must speak to sorrow till your voice catches the thread of all sorrows. And you see the size of the cloth. Then it is only kindness that makes sense anymore. Only kindness that ties your shoes and sends you out into the day to mail letters and purchase bread. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere, like a shadow or a friend. Only kindness that raises its head from the crowd of the world to say, "It is I you have been looking for," and then goes with you everywhere like a shadow or a friend. Kindness. Metta, loving kindness. I've had an image for my whole life that I can remember. I don't know where it came from. But it's this. Wouldn't it be grand if every single one of us had over our heads a bubble like they have in the cartoon books? And that bubble revealed exactly and all of what we were thinking and feeling. And we can think, oh, that'd be so exposed. And yes, there would be some ugly stuff. But if we dug down in it a little bit, there would be our common humanity. We would see how much everyone is anxious. We all were separated by incarnation from the one. We all want to go home. We want to go home. And so way back 2,600 years ago, Siddhartha Gautama found the door. He set off on a quest. It took him 7 years. Some would say in this lifetime it took him 7 years. It took him, they say, hundreds of years, lifetimes preparing. Don't know about that, but at any rate, there's the path, the Noble Eightfold Path. One intrinsic part of which is sitting in meditation. Turning our homing beacon on. Practicing kindness. And how is it that we practice kindness with ourselves in this moment? In this moment where in Pacific Daylight Time, the light is growing, the crows are singing, Right here, the neighbor is starting his noisy car and heading off into the world. And we rise early. We make our way to the Dharma Hall, an electronic Dharma Hall, where we can see one another, where we can be together. And we can, as recommended by the Buddha, take a comfortable upright posture. Abandoning grief and covetousness concerning the world. And we can drop into mindfulness of in-breathing and out-breathing. There's a beautiful mantra, a very simple mantra we can add to breathing, which can be particularly useful if there's any restlessness and agitation. It could go like this. On the in-breath, may I be happy. I long to be happy. And it isn't just the happiness of a good mood, a happy mood. It's the happiness of feeling safe, of feeling loving toward oneself and others. Of recognizing that the natural fear we have as separate beings is not our deepest experience. That if we're willing to be present with that experience, something much bigger opens. And this is refuge in the Buddha. I take refuge in being awake. And all of this is right there in May I Be Happy. And of course, if I am kind toward this being, then kindness towards the other becomes possible. So we could add on the out-breath, may you be happy. You could think of some person in our group, or maybe some person in your life. At the beginning, it's helpful to pick someone who's who you quite naturally feel kindness toward, you're not in conflict with. Or perhaps someone who's been a mentor or has been a benefactor to you, who's helped you. May this person too know the freedom of an undefended heart. May they too face the frightening nature of being a separate mammal. So on the in-breath, it's, may I be happy. And allow your intuition, your own auto-translator, to change those words in any way that you want. You can have it be your voice, or the voice of the Buddha or Kuan Yin, or the voice of a beloved grandparent, or anyone's voice. It could be the voice of the universe. There was an interesting man about 100 years ago, less than that, Reverend Ike. And he said, when you're speaking to yourself inside your own head, be careful what you say, because your voice is the voice of God to you. So on the in-breath, we could simplify it again and call it, I love you, with your name at the end. And on the out-breath, pick a person. And let the words become whatever they need to be, whatever they belong, however they belong. Perhaps it's I love you too, or may you be free from sickness, or whatever it is. Pick someone. Now, of course, the mind may wander. It's fond of wandering. In a way, that's its job. Let's not struggle with the wandering mind. Let's not struggle with anything. On the in-breath, whatever the most comforting mantra would be. on the out-breath, a blessing for that which we take to be another person. One dimension of mindfulness is that of remembering to remember. In this case, this very simple mindfulness of breathing with a loving kindness overlay, with a kindness practice. Softening into kindness. Softening into love and compassion. What would happen if, for the next 500 breaths, you remembered I love you with yourself as the recipient? All questions of worthiness fall away. We can imagine ourselves to be small infants, which we were a few moments ago. We don't ask whether an infant still covered in vernix is worthy of being loved. We see then in our simple nakedness the only sensible thing is love, kindness. On the in-breath, I love you with yourself as the destination. Softening the belly, softening the heart, softening the hands, softening the forehead. On the out-breath, some person, some beloved. All the usual suggestions are still true. Sit like a rock. Abandon all movement. Drop like a rock in deep water. Homing toward our true, kind nature. Each breath a reminder. I love you. Include any personal insecurities. Include all of the neurotic personality flourishes. Breathing in. May I be happy. Breathing out, perhaps now, all beings. As our homing brings us into the realization of our oneness with all of life. And then at some point, letting go of all doing. Let go of the mantra. Let go of there being anyone or anything which wants to change anything, to nourish anything. And there may remain an effortless knowing. The breath comes and goes all by itself. Thoughts come and go. The body is full of sensations. It is sensations. We might ask, where is this awareness? Can I find it? Can it be found? It just is, isn't it? Is it mine? Where is this I that owns awareness? Opening to the body as the cloud of sensations that it is. The hands, the feet, the legs, the back, the face. There are sensations and there is the knowing of them. And those thoughts, where do they come from? They only exist as they arise in awareness. And so we rest here in this trackless, boundless place or non-place. What a kindness to oneself and the world to inhabit this that is aware, this that is the refuge in the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha.
Robert, your sound is gone.
Thank you. A few words from Matt Flickstein. Everything that arises disappears. Everything that arises disappears. Whatever is born dies. Nothing escapes the cycle of birth and death. It is important for us to directly and experientially realize that there is never a point in time when something exists and is not in the process of becoming something other than it was just a moment before. All suffering comes from clinging, trying to hold on to that which is perpetually changing. And all clinging comes from delusion. We must learn to live in the clarity and space of non-clinging, neither grasping nor pushing anything away. The key is to just be present with what arises from moment to moment, with neither holding nor resisting. At the same time, it is essential not to fall into the trap of denying the relative existence of our psychophysical organism in the world of experience it presents. Compassion is the willingness to play in the field of dreams, even though you're awake. Approach life with joy, enthusiasm, love, and an open heart. Take delight in the manifestations of life. It is all a play of consciousness. And it is really all play. If something appears serious or burdensome, even death, then we are lost in delusion. The field of dreams is this world of the senses with all its myriad forms. Being awake is the direct knowing there is no one who suffers, no one who is born, and no one who dies. It is the five aggregates that are born and die. Who we really are has never been born and never dies. Let us carry kindness with us all day today. Let us meet ourselves in all of our different interactions today with kindness. Let's meet the people that we encounter in our work, riding the ferry, taking care of sick family members. If we indulge in the news, everyone that we see in the news. Kindness. One way to remember kindness, I find, is to consider everyone and everything an apparition. And please now become aware of this that you take to be your body. This aliveness, this massive aliveness, the hands, the pressure of the body on the chair, the magnificent breathing apparatus, the throat, the neck, the face, the eyes, and while remembering on the in-breath a kind thought, maybe it's simply I love you, and on the out-breath, I love you too. And then allowing the eyes to open, making the effort that's involved in that. Seeing clearly or not clearly, but seeing. Seeing and recognizing perhaps. Picking a person on this screen. Seeing. See this person that you're looking at as your beloved. Maybe you've been together for 65 years. It's been a long road. You've been through a lot. You know more about them than any other person in the world. You know their failings and their strengths, and you may even know most of their secrets. One thing you know for sure is that they need to be loved. Seeing. And why not do this with whoever's in your house with you, with your dog? Our old Dobby is now 10. She's got a gray muzzle. I'm taking her everywhere with me like I used to take Budo, as much as I can. She likes being the only child. I thought of this, what I'm about to do 20 minutes ago or so, and I've been editing it out, but I'm going to share it with you. It's a piece that I got from Matt Flickstein a couple of days ago. It's a practice to do. It fits with this love and compassion practice. This practice is called disappearing from the world. The goal is to recognize that at some point you will no longer be present in life. It's to support letting go of any remaining attachments to objects, experiences, or individuals. Several times during the day today, wherever you are, imagine that you have died and are no longer in the world. Become transparent. See how the world looks when you're gone. Say to yourself, for example, the sidewalk is still here, but I'm not. The house where I lived is still here, but I'm not. The place where I worked is still here, but I am not. My family is still here, but I am not. The world as I used to know it is still here, but I'm not. Recognize that without you, everything still continues as it did before, with some adjustments that others had to make since you were no longer here. How does it feel? Can you allow your feelings of loss, grief, and sadness to arise without identifying with them? Can you allow yourself to dwell in a flowing state of non-clinging? Consider the time that you have spent being obsessed with accomplishing various things in your life. Somehow that seems funny to me right now. Jeez, there's so many things that I obsess about, and can I get this done? I should have gotten this done, blah, blah, blah. So anyway, consider the time you've spent being obsessed with accomplishing various things in your life. Think about how important you believed those things to be. Think about how important you believed others to be. Consider how important you believed yourself to be. At some point in the cycle of life, it will be as if you never existed. Settle into that knowing. As you become more alert to the fact that this dream continues perfectly well without you, open to the space of presence or pure being that gets covered over by the things which you have considered to be so important. Relax into the flow of life. Let it take you where it will without the struggle due to the illusion of self-importance and control. Now live from this ground of being. Relax into the flow of life. Let it take you where it will without the struggle due to the illusion of self-importance and control. Now live from this ground of being. Let us see ourselves and take ourselves kindly. I want to make one more mention. On the 2nd of April, our dear friend and fellow teacher Kendall is offering a few hours, a short few hours, from 9 to 2, online, on Zoom, easy to, no commute. Dealing with difficult emotions and a variety of other things. Kendall has a tremendous breadth of practices and understanding. Decades of practice and training. The 3rd of April is our grand opening. Please check the website for details. I think they're on there now. 10 o'clock anyway. The teachers will be there and I'll be there. And we'll have coffee and tea. We'll be re-entering our lives. Masks are not required. If you want to wear a mask, you are most welcome to do so. And we will respect anyone with a mask and have practice social distancing to the best of our ability. Funny, the things that come to mind. What just came to mind was, come and let's have a little bit of time maskless. My hunch is we'll be back in masks again before too long, but at least for now we could enjoy this big dive in the COVID beast. Other than that, this coming weekend, which is tomorrow, there's going to be a party at PIMC from 9:30, I think. I think that's right. Till we're done, really, probably till 2, maybe less. Vacuuming, cleaning, getting some things, doing the final touch-ups on the center in preparation for opening. There's a little painting that needs to be done. I'm going to leave this morning. I need to leave pretty much close, so I need to leave now. No, I can take another 5 or 10 minutes. I'm stopping at Wink's Hardware this morning. There's a great hardware in town to pick some fasteners up for mirrors that we need. Yeah. And if you can just come tomorrow if you haven't signed up. It's fine. We will grill you for the secret password at the door, but you can probably make something up and it'll work.
Robert, the announcement says 9 a.m.
It's 9. Do not listen to the man with the brown coat. It's 9. Jeez. Oh, well. I have to love myself despite my calendar complexities. And I want to open up for a moment or two for sharing. I'm going to close by 5 after. I actually at 9:20 this morning am meeting with a fantastic young man. His name is Devin Carbalis, and he's devoted. It's a little strange. When he's a physiatrist, and he's going to be injecting a magnificent substance into my back, a fancy steroid. That if it works like last time, it will give me at least 4 to 6 months of relief from this chronic pain in my back and hip. So hooray for him for devoting his life to being. I mean, what a strange way to make a living. But what a wonderful thing to be able to give people, when it works, relief from pain for a while. So I'm excited about it. I've been... the last shot wore off before Costa Rica. So Costa Rica was I can't walk very far. Anyway, that's what the body's doing. Anything you'd like to share in 5 minutes or so? Did you come this morning with something you'd like to bring into the field? Oh, Jim has had something in the... Please come at 10. Come at 10? Oh, to be fair, the original email does said 9:30.
Yeah.
Crap.
It's come at 9. I'm sorry. There's a disease going on. It's called my memory.
So what are we saying?
9.
Come
9
at
is
9.
on the website.
We're going to we'll sit for a little while. I will read the document I always read at such times at work parties, and I'll talk about working mindfully, and it'll be lovely. I'll be anxious. I always get anxious at these things, but I can take him with a sense of humor sometimes. The anxious guy. So, enough of me.
Robert, it's Pamela.
Hello, Pamela.
Hi. The poem this morning was particularly poignant, appropriate for me. My ex-husband let me know that his mother, who is, I think, 103, was in the hospital with a heart attack, and they said they couldn't do anything. And I found myself with that poem weeping very gently about my ex-mother-in-law. And realized that she and my mom had something in common, and that was their enormous capacity for kindness, and how grateful I was that about that. And so it's just been a really lovely morning reflecting on the impact that kindness can have on others, even when we don't realize it. So that's all.
I just saw in the chat. I don't always see the chat. Thank you, Pamela. What is her name?
Her name's Jean.
Jean.
And she's just been a pillar. I mean, even though I have not been married to this man for, I don't know, 40, 50 years, close to 50 years, 40 years, I guess. We are still close. We're still very close, and so it's sweet to be able to reconnect.
I had a mother-in-law like that, Joni McLaughlin. Our relationship was actually, in a way, more profound than with my first wife, her daughter. Mm-hmm. We stayed really good friends till she died. It was quite wonderful.
Sweet.
She almost came to live with us one time later in life. So, yes, and I received a request for the Matt Flickstein reading to be posted. I will do it later today. I got to leave soon, but I'll put it on my blog. The blog is robertbeatty.com/blog. I'll put both of those readings up there. Well, folks, I should become a person in a car very soon. This incarnation ends, and it just occurred to me I should eat some food, but no, I'm not supposed to eat, so I won't do that. So let us sing our way home. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. May all beings receive all blessings. May I hold kindness in this heart for all beings, starting with ourselves. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Bhavatu Sabe Mangalam. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Goodbye, dear friends. Paula, are you all right there? Are you being eaten by that cat?
Yes, they always want to come and say hi to Sangha and be on camera. Hi,
just as long as you're safe, you're not being smothered by a cat.
Don't worry, I'm doing well. Thank you, though.
Okay. Goodbye, dear friends. Have a lovely, kind day. May it be